this camera around. I hope everybody's had a good evening. I need for you all to do me a favor. Please share. I'm on my other page, the Voice for Justice page, simply because I've got a special guest who will be joining me briefly in just a few moments. The reason being I went on this page because I was having problems trying to locate him on my main page. So if you would, just click share, because I'm sure there are going to be people that's trying to prevent this live or prevent this information from being disseminated. But first and foremost, I want to give thanks to the Pine Bluff Commercial for providing me with this information and also making it available to the public. And second of all, as a human being, in which I am imperfect. I've never claimed to be perfect. I make mistakes. And I want to kind of tune in with my viewers. I want you all to know I personally would like to apologize to everyone because some people would say I'm obsessed with Maurice Taggart's case. I'm not. I simply want justice, but I have put my own personal twist or spin on it. Everyone knows how I feel about all parties involved. So what I'm going to do as of today, I'm going to remove my personal feelings from this case and not act from an emotional standpoint. But what I am going to do is stick strictly to the facts. And I'm going to do something a little bit different tonight than what I've ever done on any live that I've done. I've got some questions that I'm going to pose to you, the audience. So I want to get you all involved with this. Good evening, everyone. I don't want to miss anybody, so good evening, everyone. So what I would like to do is, let me respond real quick. And that is, I want to get you all's input. Pretty much what we're going to do, I'm going to put the information out here, and then I'll allow you to draw your own conclusions. Like I said, as of today, August 18th, 2024, what I'm doing is removing my personal feelings about all parties involved. I'm simply going to stick to the facts, disseminate the information, and I'm going to let you all decide. And I've got some questions at the end, but I've got a special guest who would like to join us tonight on this live. But before I do that, I want to show you something. I've shown this before. This is a gun. There's nothing in the chamber. Let me make sure, see? Look, it's empty. There's nothing in the chamber, okay? I want to show you something. I'm about to play Justice Taggart's interview. This is Justice along with then pregnant girlfriend, Shatia Johnson. She since had the baby, but this is Justice Taggart. This is Maurice Taggart's son. You're going to hear in this interview, it lasted maybe 6, perhaps 7 minutes. So if you all would just share the live, it will prevent people from blocking the live, okay? But in his interview, he states, let me show you something. When you pull this back, there's a thing where I can lock it. Hold on. I ain't gonna shoot myself, you all. There's nothing in it. Now, it's stuck like this. Now, what you're going to hear in Justice Taggart's interview, he's going to say to prevent the gun from being shot or to prevent him from being shot, he says he sticks his finger in between this right here. Yeah. So he sticks his finger right in here to prevent the gun from being. Let me show you just how powerful this mechanism is. So if I pull, did y'all see that? So I'm gonna pull it back and I'm gonna lock it. There's the lock right there. It prevents it from going. So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to pull down and watch how fast this mechanism works. Did y'all see that? Let's do it one more time. And there we go. And what I'll do, I'm gonna pull this little lever right here. Watch this. See, right now, the gun cannot be fired. But let me show you just how powerful this mechanism is. Move it closer. You see that? Well, in his interview, he states that he stuck his finger in between right there, and that hurts. I'm gonna tell you right now. My finger being stuck in there, it hurts. That's very, very painful. There are some grooves in that gun right there. This is what he said. He put his hand or put his finger to prevent the gun from being shot or fired. So what I'll do, I'm going to, like I said, this thing is powerful. For those of you who are just not coming on, just click share and see this mechanism right here will cause the gun to, watch this. You see that? So he told us, he said in this interview, he stuck his finger in there. But this is, oh wow, had a power surge. And it's lightning over it this way. But what I would like to do is play this interview for you all. And I want you all to be objective and not subjective. I'm just going to present the information. But I want to start off, like I said, by just disseminating this information from the Pine Bluff commercial. And then I'm going to bring my special guest on, okay? It says 2 witnesses claimed that they saw a third man. Just remember that. At the crime scene. The man's existence was dismissed by our prosecutor, Cal Hunter. This information was not made available to the public until July 1st of 2024, so about 6 weeks ago. But anyway, the eyewitnesses said they never saw anyone with one of these. Never saw anyone with a gun, and they said they didn't know where the shots came from. The same eyewitness said they saw 1, 2, 3 men fighting. They said they saw 3 men fighting. Justice, Maurice, and another man. And they stated that the man took off his shirt and gave it to Justice Taggart. A completely separate witness in a nearby home said that they saw a shirtless man, meaning the man didn't have a shirt on, standing on the side of the Taggart house away from the crime scene. So let me take you here just to bring you all up to speed for those who are getting familiar with this case. This here is the neighbor's house. So let me pause it. I want you all to see this, okay? Now, this is the neighbor's house directly beside the Taggart's home, okay? That would be, show you. That'd be that house right there. That's number 2 Hillcroft. Now, the witness stated that there was a man half naked standing on the far side of the home. That would be the east side of the home, away from the crime scene, without a shirt on, remaining shirtless, okay? The first witness that I witnessed the incident take place, he had a bird's eye view directly across on Stevens, said that there were 3 men engaged in an altercation and there was a female out there as well. So let me play this and speed it up just a little bit. Let's see here. There's a tree line coming up right there. See the tree line? Now the witness stated that the half-naked guy was standing over here in the brush or in the tree area. When the police arrived on the scene, the police came from down the street from this direction, okay, from the north side of the house, and they encountered Chandra Taggart. The officer said, there they go right there, right there. There they go right there, okay? And I've shown this video before, so let me show you. Let me go back to the police. When the police initially arrived on the scene at 2:20, I think it was 2:22. Let me make sure. It was 2:22:49. It's when the police officers arrived on the scene. So let me take you back right there for those of you who are not familiar with this.
2:37.
Okay,
right there, baby. How about police? Come up with your hands up.
Okay. Here we go.
Come up with your hands out. How about police? You got a gun? Drop it.
Now, if you notice, that was Maurice Taggart sitting on the steps of the patio in the red shirt. He sat there bleeding to death. The young lady that you see right here, that's Shatia Johnson, or Tia Johnson. Justice Taggart is behind her on the wall, on the far right, lying up against the wall. And there's Maurice sitting right there on the stoops, okay? Now, I said that to get to this point right here, okay? Like I said, I'm being objective and not subjective. I'll let you all come to your own conclusion. So let me pause this again. Now, I would like to play for you all the interview by Detective Jason Boykin of the Pine Bluff Police Department. He interviewed Justice maybe an hour or so after the shooting, somewhere in that time frame. And I want you to hear his testimony. You're going to hear the expert witness, not expert, the criminologist. He gave his 2 cents on it. He put his input on it. But I want you all to listen, and listen without prejudice, okay? So if you all would, please share the live. Next time I go live, I'll be on my regular page. But I've got a special guest that's coming on in just a few moments. You all are going to be shocked, but the guest will be on shortly, okay? This interview is about 5-6 minutes long. If I have to go back and pause it, because I want you all listen carefully, okay? Just listen carefully.
It's Wednesday, August the 30th, 2023, and I'm speaking with, can you take your name over? Say it one more time. Justice Taggart. Justice Taggart? All right, just explain to me what happened. Drinking, telling my mama he gonna kill her. He told my mama he gonna kill her. Yeah. So this happened tonight? You don't have to argue with him tonight? No, he was talking to her.
Did you all hear that? Notice what Justice said. Let me take it back about 15 seconds. Like I said, it's thunder and lightning over here, so it's kind of loud, but just listen to his statement. Did you all hear that? That's a great question, LaToya. We'll get to that in a little bit, but thank you for putting that question out there. If you notice, the son, Justice, says that he was on the phone talking to his mom. He overheard the conversation between them, the argument. So he came over, but keep in mind, his girlfriend was already there. The pregnant girlfriend was already there spending the night. So he was out at home. So he came over to the house and he said he heard his dad making threats, threatening to kill people, multiple people, including, he said he was going to kill the sheriff. I'm not going to even say his name, but that's what Justice said. He said he told his dad to get out. He said he pushed his dad out the door. Let me take that back about 15 seconds. Just listen. Hold on. He said when he went outside, I pushed him out the door. He didn't want to leave, so he shot me in the chest. I mean, but I play it one more time.
Okay. What happened at that point? When we went outside, he didn't want to leave. I pushed him out the door. And he shot me in the chest. Okay, so he had a gun on him? Did you see him go get a gun, or how did the gun come to play? He stole my gun and shot me in the chest. So did you have any guns out there? I mean, the gun he shot me with is his gun, but he had pointed to somebody, and when he pointed to him, they gave it to me, and they told me, I'm gonna give it to your dad because he's gonna do something with it. So how did he get the gun? Was it in the house? He stole it from me. He took the money from my mom. I have a lot of guns. I have 6, 7 guns. I go to my range. But you don't have a gun with you tonight. I did have a gun with me. Is that the gun that y'all got? No, the gun that I had with me. That's my dad. I would never kill him. I gave the gun to my mom. I told her to go put it up. So we wrestled. He wouldn't take it from me.
Did y'all hear that? I'm going to take it back. Good evening, everyone. I want you all, there's a specific thing that he said. I caught it. I'm just trying to see if you all are picking up what's being put down. Listen to what he said. Did you all hear that? Justice says, I had the gun. One more time. He said, I had the gun. Let me take it back just a couple of seconds.
I did have a gun with me. Is that the gun that y'all got? No, the gun that I had with me. That's my dad. I would never kill him. I gave the gun to my mom. I told her to go put it up. So we wrestled. He wouldn't take it from me. So I didn't know he had a gun the whole time, though. So that gun that you had that you gave your mom, it didn't get fired tonight? No, it's in the house somewhere. So the only gun that got fired was the gun that he had.
Did y'all hear that? He said the gun that he had, he gave it to his mama. When the detectives asked him, where is the gun? He said, it's in the house somewhere. Keep in mind, his mother, the county clerk, has foster children. So he said the gun was in the house somewhere. Let's take it back one more time. Notice what he said.
where I said he wouldn't take it from me. I didn't know he had a gun the whole time, though. So that gun that you had that you gave your mom, it fired tonight? No, it's in the house somewhere. Okay, so the only gun that fired was the gun that he had? Yes. Okay, so after he shot you, what happened? I was fighting my wife. He was trying to shoot me some more. I'm trying to wrestle with him. Yeah, I don't know what my girl just standing I'm on top of her. She's just standing on the gun. She didn't even fucking try to get the damn gun. She just so damn. She did the best she could do.
Did you notice what he said about his girlfriend? He said that his girlfriend was just standing there. She didn't know what the F to do, but she was just standing on the effing gun. Did y'all hear that? She's just standing on the gun. He said he wrestled with his dad. So if they were on the ground, it should have been residue, grass stains on their clothes. Something from the ground should have made contact with the clothing since they were wrestling. And since this woman who had the baby in October, this was August. So she had to be about 7, maybe 8 months pregnant. Now, this is a pregnant woman standing on Maurice and or standing on the gun. That's what he says. But the witness stated to the police, Liz Pollard, that there were 3 men outside. One having a red shirt on, or a white shirt, happened to be Maurice Taggart. Red shirt, rather. Maurice was facing, that would be west. His face was turned directly in the view of the witness. And the witness stated that she could tell one was Maurice, but there were 2 other men on the right side of Maurice holding him. And there was a female on the left side of Maurice. But a 3rd man was never mentioned in his interview, in Chandra's interview, nor Shatil Johnson's interview. They never mentioned a 3rd man. But yet you have these 2 credible witnesses states that there was a man fighting, a 3rd man fighting with Maurice Taggart, as well as the other witness stated that the man was half naked because he didn't have a shirt on. The first witness said the man took off his shirt and laid it on Justice. The second eyewitness, independent of the first, stated that the man was on the east side, on the opposite side from the crime scene, with no shirt on, with just some shorts. And keep in mind where the police, when they arrived on scene, where the wife was standing on the east side of the house near the tree line. Just keep that in mind, okay? So let's go back. Did y'all hear that? He says, I had the gun. When he said, well, okay. He states that he led him to the door. He pushed him out the door. Why didn't he close the door behind him? He said he pushed him out the door, and that's when his dad shot him. So they tussled with the gun. They were wrestling with the gun. The pregnant girlfriend, she's 7, 8 months pregnant. She out there stepping on Maurice and stepping on the gun. And he said she's so effing, I don't know why she didn't. He said, well, she did the best she could. He said, well, how did Maurice get shot? He then said, I had the gun. And then he backed off. Let's make sure we heard that correctly.
Justice.
Did y'all hear that? Now you're going to hear this is the criminologist speaking in the background. But he said he threw Maurice down. That's what he said. He threw Maurice down. Okay, listen to this.
Just as he starts to answer that, Boykin asked him something to the effect of, where was the gun? Creepily, he says, I had the gun, but then he immediately backtracked.
He said he was fighting for his life. He tried to shoot him some more. Now, mind you, Maurice Taggart's, according to the medical examiner's report, toxicology or blood alcohol level was twice the legal limit, 0.17. 0.8 is intoxicated, considered as intoxicated. His was 0.17, which is twice the legal limit. He said he threw him down with all his might. Yeah.
Except you had the gun. Except he had the gun.
I see him jumping for something on the ground. So when I look, I see the guy. I hear him jump on it. And we both had it. And I remember, I think I just pulled the trigger or something. And he took off.
Did y'all hear that? He said the gun flew out his hand. Keep in mind, the pregnant girlfriend was stepping on Maurice. She's stepping on the gun. And then he says, he got the gun. He said the gun just flew out somewhere in the yard. And Maurice was reaching for it. He said then he grabbed the gun. Keep in mind it's dark, so he reached and he grabbed the gun. That's what he said. Just listen. He said he just don't remember. He pulled the trigger, and all of a sudden Maurice took off. Okay?
He got shot while I was tussling with the gun. When he shot me, and this boy, I'm just like, I know I'm about to die. He's trying to pull the trigger some more. I got the, like when the gun can't go off if you pull it with the back of the, like when he pulled the trigger, but I got my hand on the, it's like that thing at the top of the gun. Like, if I stop it, you can't shoot. Like, what is that? The chamber? And you pull the gun, it goes back and forth. I was holding it back so he couldn't pull it. So he had trigger. He had. Yeah, man. time that you pulled the trigger when you got shot? Hell no. Okay. Like I said, this is all. Okay. All right, let's conclude the interview at 03:43 hours.
He said the slide. So he stuck his finger in there to prevent Maurice from firing up on him again. This is painful. Look. You push this back, and you can lock it. You can lock it right there. He said he stuck his finger in here to prevent him from firing the gun. Now, while this is engaged, look, you cannot fire a round off. It's empty, of course. There's nothing in it. But when you disengage it, you can fire. But he wants us to believe, well, he says, he put his finger in there. When you slide this back, if Maurice had the gun is pointing at me. And to keep a person from being able to do this right here, he said he put his finger in here. As they're tussling with the gun. So, you all heard the interview. What I'm going to do now, I've got a special guest I want to bring in, and I'm going to give him the floor. And then after he says what he needs to say, I've got some questions I want to pose to the viewers. So if you would, just share the live. That prevents them from interrupting the live. So if you would, let me see if I can find the person. If he's on here, I'm going to go ahead and add this individual. I'm sending a request. And I'm going to bring this individual in. I'm adding a person in on this live. Because I've got some questions for my viewers, okay? So, thank you for sharing, Cynthia. So, there you have his testimony. You have his perspective of what actually happened. So, I'm adding an individual that wants to speak, and I think it's past time that they speak. So, there you have it. If you're watching, viewer, I've sent the request. Just press accept, and you can come on in. In the meantime, while we're waiting for this individual to join, it says no answer from the live video guest. I'm going to send one more request again, see if I can bring them in. And I thank you all for making this possible. Thank you again, viewers. Like I said, I'm going to be objective and not subjective. So I got a question to the viewers. I'll give you a minute to answer. Do you all think the Pine Bluff Police Department investigated this case properly? Got someone wanting to join, so let's see here. Thank you for sharing. Question number one. Do you all think or feel that the Pine Bluff Police Department investigated this case properly? Okay. Someone said hell no. Okay. Question number two. Do you think Maurice shot justice in light of the evidence shown by the Arkansas State Crime Lab and the fact that Maurice Taggart had no GSR or gunshot residue on his hands? Do you all believe that Maurice shot justice despite the evidence from the State Crime Lab, who doesn't have a dog in the fight? I want to get your honest answers, okay? Got another viewer attempting to join, so let's approve this one. So you all are saying no. We'll continue with number 3 here in just a moment. Brother Taggart.
How you doing, Mark? How you doing today, Mark?
Doing good, man. Hey, this is, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, this is Cedric Taggart. This is Maurice Taggart's. Are you older or younger?
I'm younger than Maurice.
This is, man, you look just like, take them glasses off just for a second.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, now hold on. Let me do a split screen. Don't you move. Don't you move. Hold on. Don't you move. I want to do something. Man, boy. You know what? If I didn't know you, I would think, hold on, you know what? Let me bring this image closer. I want these people to see how much of a striking resemblance that you have your brother, okay? Let's do it like that. Wow, look at that. Look at that.
Yeah.
Man, turn your head just a little bit in the same direction as this photo. No, just a little bit right there, right. Look at that, you all. Look at that. This is Cedric Taggart. So, okay. Now, Cedric, how you doing, brother?
Man, I'm doing fine tonight, Mark. I can't complain.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. Let me turn my camera back around. And how you say you're doing fine. I got a series of questions. If you don't want to answer, just say I'd rather not speak on it, then I'll go on to the next question, okay? I'm not gonna say I'm shooting from the hip, but I'm gonna give you the floor. I would like to know, I've been pretty invested in this since day one, but people truly want to know how this side of the Taggart family is coping with the loss of Maurice.
Well, to start off, Mark, I want to thank you. To start this off, I want to thank you, and I want everybody to know that at first it was a little confusion between me and Mark, but that confusion is way gone. I want you to know that I love you, brother, and I thank you for doing it. And well, to answer your question is, yes, it's a lot of things that it's just been going a little crazy. You know, my mother, she's been having a bad time because unfortunately, Chandra and them won't even let him visit her great granddaughter. So she never have seen her great granddaughter besides a picture.
Wait a minute, hold on, wait, stop. So you telling me this baby here that's been born, the little girl, your mother, the great grandmother, has never held or seen the baby?
No, sir, not at all, because of all of this crap. They have never reached out to even bring the baby to even see her. If it wasn't for my oldest brother picture of my great granddaughter, my mother's grandchild, then she wouldn't even know how she looked. So that's terrible, Mark.
Wow.
She
what
cried.
What is
She
this?
cried. Man, every day, man, like, you know, Mark, since we've been doing this, you know, I wake up, I pray for her every day. I talk to my mama Osmo every day, man. She's very hurt. I mean, her first great grandchild, and to be treated like this after her son been murdered, you know, it's devastating. I mean, it hurts me to hear my mother, you know, saying that she want to see her grandchild, and some people like that would keep them away from her.
Wow. I want to ask, wow. So this has been very hard on your mom.
Yes, it's been hard on her every day. You know, it's been hard on me, Mark, but I try to stay prayed up because I know you asked me at the beginning how I've done. So I try to stay positive. But Mark, it has been hell, brother. From start to end, from we first started this, you know, all of the hype on the lies, all of the lies. But now the facts are out, Mark, and we're definitely trying to work on doing something about that.
What has the loss of your brother, what has it done to you personally, if you don't mind expounding on that?
Mark, I got high blood pressure. I take Loprinocil 30s. Every day I have to sort of, like, I do the things for my brother, researching and everything. And it have took a toll on me. Without prayer, without God, without my mother, without people like you, no telling what my sanity would be. But man, it's been a roller coaster, brother. It's been where, like, some days I get up and I have to cry it out. Some days I don't want to show my feelings. And you know, when I watch all of your shows, it brings back, you know, when the truth comes out, listening to this, knowing that, you know, the truth is inside of us. And it just been hard, Mark. I mean, I can't even explain it, brother. Like, to wake up every day, it's been like August the 30th will be a year. So, you know, I wake up every day, man, to trying to figure out ways to cope with this, and then also live. So, brother, it's been hard, brother. It's no other way to say it. And it's been even harder that I have to, you know what I'm saying? I got to be that GOAT for my mother, because she turns to me, you know, and then I look like Maurice. So, you know, just think about it. You know, I was down there. So when she seen me, it was a delight. And at the same time, man, you know, it was like she lost, like, oh, I lost mother twin, as they say. You know, it just been hard, Mark. It's no other way to say it. And every day I get up, I just say it like this. It's not one day I've got up and not thought about my brother and did something about it. It's not one day. Like, so saying resting days, some days I go without rest, Mark. I'm still going without rest because I know something bad has happened.
Let me say this to you, Cedric. And just in watching you right now on the screen and listening to you, now, if I'm wrong, correct me. Your brain seems to be like all over the place. It's like you just, I don't want to say lost, but kind of scattered. Is that a clear assessment?
Well, I guess I'm gonna say, when you get a big position like me, so when this happened, my family put it on me. So basically, like, my family didn't. I decided to do this on my own. But when I decided to do it, I knew it was gonna be big. I knew it was gonna take a lot. So it's more of the thing of, like I told you from the jump, from even the 911 call, that I knew something was wrong. So it wasn't scattered. It was more, I couldn't believe it. I didn't want to believe it. Like, even when you look at me now, it's like I'm sitting here, like, my brother got murdered. So I knew I had to stay sane because my family member was depending on me to do this. Like, as you see, my family members behind us. They're behind a lot of things that we do. But I'm the spokesman for my family, and I'm the voice, as you say, for Maurice, as we are the voice, I should say, for my brother. So it is what it is on that, brother. It's just been and without prayer, I probably would be cuckoo for Cuckoo Puffs. But yes, there's some days I get up, my mind be scattered, and I say, you know what, I'm just not, the way I cope with that, some days I say, well, I'm not gonna do as much as this. Sometimes, like when me and my mother have conversations, we have to stop sometime because we'll be talking about different things, and then we'll end up crying, or my mother say, I can't take it anymore. So, brother, it's just, yes, it haven't been scattered, but more like, I have to do what I got to do to stay in line, because if I don't, then who else besides you that can get this out? And I need to be strong at this time. But yes, some days I get up, Mark, it's a little scattered. I can't lie to you. Some days I'm a little scattered, but I jump back in position. And the way you break things down, brother, when I'm not thinking of something, it's like you're my second, like you're thinking what I'm thinking for my brother. So when I can't articulate it, man, you do a great job at doing it, Mark. I tell you that.
Thank you. You know, Cedric, in listening to you, I think this is a fair assessment. After the loss of Maurice, a lot of responsibility, obligations, as well as pressure has been placed upon your shoulders. I know that's difficult. I know that's difficult to handle because it was totally unexpected. And your mom is a very strong spiritual person. She's very, very spiritual. And if you don't mind, I would like to put my Cash App out there because I want to help your mom in any way. This ain't big, and I always ask my viewers for their support. But before I ask them for support, they know my Cash App. But how much has, if any, has your former sister-in-law, the county clerk, how much has she aided and or assisted your mom? In which? Not
at all. She haven't aided to assist my mother on anything. She first tried
$20.
Nothing. And we don't. And as I told you earlier, Mark, we don't want anyone to get confused or anything like this, because we don't definitely need to like we're begging for someone else's help. If you guys choose to do something to support Mark and us, that would be gracefully accepted. But I really can't talk about our legal matters as I say right now. But just know that it is, we are working on finalizing something. But if you do decide to help, that's up to you guys. But I don't want the family or anyone thinking like this is a help me type of video. This not that. But Mark had stressed to me that he was gonna help me his way. So I told him if he wanted to do that, by the grace of me and my mom, is cool. But we're definitely, like I said, putting things together. Some things I don't want to even mention.
No.
But go ahead.
But I want to, my Cash App is $Voice for Justice. If you would, if you want to donate something, I know she said she has to drink this alkaline water. If I'm not mistaken, she has to drink that. If you want to go and get the water, we can have a date and time to set up and meet. Just inbox me. We can meet at the Jefferson County Courthouse if you want to donate a few dollars, because it's been pretty difficult. And I'm just going to say this, because your mom and I, we've talked almost every month since this happened. Maurice was a source of support for her. He assisted his mother, in which any son would, being in his position, just like you. And when Maurice lost his life, August the 30th, that income, that support that she had ceased to exist. Only for you to tell me that Maurice's spouse or widow has not contributed a dime to her
Not at all.
mother-in-law, whom she's known since she was a kid. Not one dime. Not to mention she has not even seen her great-grandchild. And she told me that bothers her, that she's only seen, because of your brother showed her a picture of the grandbaby. She has yet to see the baby. So number one, she mentioned that Maurice was taken away from her. And then she said Maurice was cremated. So she doesn't even have a place to go and visit his remains. And now to have a great grandchild, and she's never laid eyes on the baby, and the baby is 10 months old. She says that her mental is starting. This has affected her mental health, her physical health, and just her words. She said, "I'm not doing well." This is what your mom told me this morning. She said, "I'm not doing well." I'm not going to go into other details. I'll let her discuss that with you, but she's not doing well. This has taken a toll on her psychologically and physically. She's on the decline. But more importantly, she still wants justice for her baby. Because that's what she said. That's what she called him, her baby. And so, man, it's just, it's tough. So my Cash App is Voice for Justice, $Voice for Justice. If you would put Miss Nina Taggart on it, whatever you all donate, I will make sure she gets that tomorrow. I've got a surgical procedure, so send one up for me. I've got to go under the knife in the morning. I have to tell you also, say a prayer for me. Hopefully everything goes well for me tomorrow morning. But whatever's donated, I'll ensure that Miss Taggart gets it. If you want me to let her know who specifically gave what, I'll do that. I'm just asking on you all's behalf because I made a contribution this morning. I want to help her with her medications as well as the water that she needs. I'll just leave it at that. So if you all want to donate to Miss Taggart, please do so. And just make sure you put Nina, it's Nina, Nina Taggart. And it's a call to justice. It's going to help her in any way that she feels the need to use the resources. But I've got a question I want to ask you, a second question, Ced. Let me go here. Cedric, I'm just used to calling you Ced. But
I'm used to it, Mark.
Do you think Maurice shot justice in light of the evidence that's shown by the Arkansas State Crime Lab? Do you believe that Maurice shot justice, even though Maurice had no GSR? GSR is it's an acronym, it's a short letter for gunshot residue. Maurice didn't have any of that on his hands.
No, Mark, I never believed that. Even when I stated that in the newspaper, Pine Bluff newspaper, that I knew that was a lie. Maurice loved his son. When you seen Maurice, you seen his son. That's why so many pictures. He got more pictures with his son than with his wife. You get what I'm saying? So I know for a fact my brother loved his son. You know what I'm saying? I know Maurice would do anything in the world for that boy. You know what I'm saying? It was just a point. Justice. Let me just slow down real quick because so repeat what you were saying again, because that just blew me.
We'll just skip that. I'm gonna take you.
No, you can come back to it. I wanted to finish it. I just sort of jumped off a little bit off the track.
You said about the love and affinity.
Oh yes, okay, yes. And no, Maurice would have never did that. I say if Maurice would have did anything, Maurice would have fought his son just like that. But talking about when they said, I knew it was something wrong when they said that he pulled the gun on his son, like, and shot his son first. I knew that was a lie. So when this came out that the fingerprints weren't there, I knew that that story's gonna go with what I said. You know what I mean? Like, I knew that story. It just didn't make any sense, man. And anybody know our family. It's not like we lived in different states and all of this. Everybody knows. Everybody knew Maurice loved Justice. I mean, it was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It just sometimes you have some kids that don't want to mind. And Justice didn't like a lot of Maurice rules. You know, Maurice came up, you know, strict. We came up strict. So Justice didn't like a lot of things Maurice had to do. And I just want to go back and tap on something you said. I felt so bad when I came to the funeral and didn't know my brother was getting cremated. That was the worst thing in the world. So when my sister lied and said they called me and supposedly I'm supposed to have been crazy, that never happened. She told me my brother died and I got on a plane and shot from Minnesota down there. And when I got there, I told him, I said, if I prove this to you, what are you going to say? And that's been the question from jump. Even when you was talking about Justice saying about the gun and you hear the man, him reinstating everything. Everything you hear from the police, from Kyle Hunter, from Justice, and I love my nephew. I love everybody involved, but I don't love what happened to my brother. I don't love he got murdered. And I don't take that kindly. So a lot of things, Chandra burnt the body. Did she not know that, you know, they can come back and get the autopsy and they can still get things, just like the cameras. Everything was said about the cameras. I told my mother, I said, hey, they got an iCloud. So if she lie or say anything, it's gonna come out. So everything that's been said, even as you played it, Justice, he's stuttering. If you even listening to him, like he's making up things as he go, because they didn't plan on that it was going to happen that way. And Mark, like I said, brother, I love you, and we're going to continually doing what we do for it. But Maurice, to answer that question, Maurice would have never did that. Maurice would have never even, I don't think he would have thought or even dreamed about hurting his son. I knew that was a lie. I would have died on that. Wow. If someone would have came, I would have died on that thought. That's a lie. Maurice would have never did that, ever.
Okay. I've got a question for the viewers as well as for you. Do you all think, including you said, Justice told the truth in this interview with the police?
I know he lied. Wow. He straight up lied. Even when he came, like Justice didn't even come to me till after the situation. He didn't. When he came to me, Mark, he came as disrespectful. And when I'm tearing up about my brother, can you believe my nephew never shed a tear? If your dad died, when you shed a tear, I believe, like, and talking to my nephew, honest God, the truth, I never seen him shed one tear. But when we was at the funeral, and he squeezed that out. So. But man, Maurice wouldn't have never did that. Maurice wouldn't have never. He loved his son too much. Okay. And yes, I do believe that Justice was lying the whole time. I knew when he told the story that he was lying.
Okay. Question number 4. This is to the viewers as well as to you, Cedric. You can comment on this. Do you all believe that Shatia Johnson told the truth in her interview with the police?
And the funny part, Mark, I didn't ever get that until the end. Shatia told me a whole different lie. See, that's what I didn't mention to you. Shatia told me a whole different lie. I did not know that she put her foot on my brother's hand. That's where when my brother was reaching to protect himself, I guess, because he was being brutally jumped on, she stepped on his, she put her foot on his hand. And Maurice got no gun residue. So just like you got a gun, anybody with a gun is smart enough to know if that came out like that, even to the point that he stuck his hand in there. That's the dumbest thing I ever heard, that he stuck his hand in there to stop a gun.
Yeah, right in this part.
That he stuck his hand in there. And yeah, he came to me, Mark, before I left. I was on my way from work. He stopped me, was very disrespectful. Thank God there was another lady around and didn't want us to go into that because he was being so disrespectful. And I had told her the story about my brother. She said, man, Cedric is crazy that the boy ain't even crying. Like you out here, you shedding tears, hysterical. I'm talking about tears rolling down my face like I was in the shower. And I said, I asked my nephew, I said, who killed my brother? Can I ask you a question? Do you think he told me? Did you think he told me that who killed my brother? Now that's his dad. He loved him. He loves Maurice. I'm his brother. Did you think he told me that and when I said, hey, who killed my brother? I even asked him, did you kill my brother? He never mentioned anything. And just to help you out, Chandra went to my mother when they had the election. And Chandra came to my mother. And my mother told me that she tapped on the back. And she said she wanted to tell her some things, but she was scared. And I know what Chandra's scared of. We know what Chandra is scared of. But the thing about it is, I'm not going to feel bad at the end because you had your time to come and say something. And I got something to say to you, Mark, and I never told you this. I think you heard about it. Chandra had put a restraining order on me. She put a restraining order on me. And it was set for a year. And the judge said, you know, from what he heard, from what she heard, that, you know, I was just really upset that my brother had died. You get what I'm saying? I was really upset that my brother had died, Mark. But she, I want to ask you this question. When she was saying that Maurice lived like justice, and she said herself that Maurice threatened to kill her and all of this stuff that she said, why didn't she put a protection order? And why ain't this one statement from the police saying that this happened? Why? If she ran. When my sister gave her the video of me saying something that I wouldn't said in my right mind, I was wrong. I admit when I'm wrong. I said something I shouldn't. I was hurt about my brother. I said, I'm gonna make her tell me. And I was so wrong. And I even apologized to her. But I said, I was hurt because when I came down there, it was so many lies to me, so many lies. And I couldn't deal with them. So my biggest thing, if you so scared of Maurice, Lafayette got a thing saying that he both, if Mark, if I say right now, I'm gonna go kill all these people, the first thing you would say to me, Cedric, don't say that. Secondly, I'm on more like a mandatory reporter because if something happened and I was around you, I'm gonna get in some trouble. You get what I'm saying? So you so scared of Maurice, but you won't put no restraining order on nothing he said. You said this happened before they chopped it up. They're trying to chop it up. Even Lafayette came out and said that Maurice told him that this, you the biggest sheriff down there. I tell you I'm gonna kill my wife and you take it as a joke. You don't report it. You a police. You a mandatory reporter. And you don't report that to no one. And you go to Cal Hunter and tell Cal all of this. And so funny we're talking about Cal because my brother said in the video that he had some paperwork on Cal. So for all my people who wonder, like, why is Cal so worried about this? Why Cal won't do anything about this? I think at the end, and I'm not going to say it's a fact, but in my heart, it's a fact that he's trying to protect everyone and himself. And everything he said on his paperwork was not what the police said. Now I'm gonna let you go continue what you're doing.
Okay. All right. Well, question number 5. Do you all think, as Cedric, you can chime in on this, do you all think that Chandra Taggart told the truth in her interview with the Pine Bluff Police Department?
No, I don't think she told the truth. And quite frankly, I'm hearing from other sources that she was having an affair on my brother with Lafayette. That's what I heard. And not on, and the sad part about this, that's why I don't mention no names and things like that, because in the future, things will come out. But this seemed like it was supposed to have been a setup, and a setup that went wrong. Now go ahead.
Wow. Man, you blow my mind. Okay, number 6, I'm sorry. Do you believe that the witnesses' statements were true and that they saw a third man?
I definitely believe that. One of the witnesses was my classmate that was a lawyer, and I found out that the other witness was a lawyer. So they're very credible. That's why I go back to Cal. He pushes that to the side, like we don't want to believe the witness. The witness say what they saw, and both of the witnesses wasn't in the same house.
Correct. Okay, question number 7. Do you all believe that the sheriff lied about his times according to the evidence and call log and 911? Right here it shows, courtesy of the Pine Bluff commercial, that the sheriff called 911 at 2:22:01, but yet at 2:26 he states that he had 2 missed calls from Chandra Taggart. So, but he called 911 4 minutes earlier. So how would he have known to call 911 at 2:26 if you didn't get 2 missed calls to 2:26? So you don't think the sheriff believe that the sheriff lied about his times according to the evidence as well as the call log and 911? Do you all think he lied? Do y'all believe what the sheriff said?
Man, we didn't even start off thinking to believe that lie. And then to have your name not even on the log and get someone to try to jimmy up the paperwork. Come on now, think about this, Mark. 6 hours after my brother died, you got to, just like you said, you got the chief of police saying that it's no charges.
So, okay, then that brings me to question number 8. Do you think that the Pine Bluff Police Department chief of police influenced and interfered with the investigation of Maurice Taggart's homicide?
I definitely do. Maurice said it in the last save. You guys go to the last save with my brother talking. He said it's going to be influence. He said they're going to kill him, and it's going to be influence that's being used. If anybody know anything about power, the influence he's talking about the people who was at his power and higher. You get what I'm saying? So that higher power, that's why he kept saying, and I hate that he said, I'm going to open the floodgates. That's why my brother's dead to this day. I mean, God took him, and may God rest his soul. But Maurice, he had already knew that it was influences that was going to try to take him down. You know, people that I told him back in the day, stop trusting. But unfortunately, he didn't. Time ran out. So yes, she doctored that up, and you haven't heard of a chief coming out. I mean, I don't even know when the last time a chief ever came out and did something publicly like that.
Never happened before.
So,
well, I'm gonna go to question number 10. This is to you, Cedric, as well as to the audience. Do you all agree with Cal Hunter's decision that it was self-defense in light of the evidence and the facts?
Evidence shows that my brother was murdered. The camera shows my brother being murdered. Go ahead.
I just can't get past the fact that when you shoot a gun, they call it blowback. That attaches to the skin. None of that was on he didn't have any GSR on his hand, so that dispels the fact that they said Maurice shot. I mean, he didn't have any GSR.
That's selfish. Just like you said, Mark, that don't need a scientist. That's common sense. That's that's common sense. He didn't have nothing. Just like you said, Mark, you own a gun, Mark. When you shoot your gun, your bullet releases, right?
Right.
Meaning the shells. The bullet release out. What be on your clothes and hands?
Gunshot residue.
They said nothing was on Maurice, like you said. Nothing was on. So that was what it was. I guess that, that just flew down like, Mario Brothers down like a leaf and just magically happened. Like he didn't do it. That's just simple as that. He didn't have a gun in his hand. That the witness said they didn't see a gun in his hand.
Correct.
So,
Correct.
I mean, I can talk about what we thinking, but we got people across the street that's saying that this happened.
Right.
And so, go ahead.
Okay, question number 11. Should Kyle Hunter have recused himself in this case?
Definitely should have accused, just like the Scientologist said. Do this make sense? You got all of the judges accusing, and you got Kyle Hunter not accused. He could have easily gave that to the other agency.
So I'm asking the audience, the viewers, do you all feel like he should have recused himself, meaning, you know what, since the parties involved, elected officials, same jurisdiction, let me remove myself and appoint a special prosecutor to look at this case and not handle the case himself? Because let me speak about what happened to me May 2nd. I went to the prosecuting attorney's office. It's been May, June, July. It's been almost 4 months. I filed charges against the sheriff for threatening me. And the prosecutor told me he was going to recuse himself. And I said, why? He said, because the sheriff and I sit on some of the same boards together. So that there's not a conflict, I'm going to recuse myself and appoint another special prosecutor. The prosecutors that he appointed to me, his name is Jason Barnett out of Little Rock, Arkansas. Ask me, Cedric, have I heard from Jason Barnett since I filed my charges May 2nd?
Have you heard from him, Mark? Wow.
No, sir.
Wow.
Phone call. I was told by Kyle Hunter that I would be contacted. I got my copy of my letter and my charges that I filed against the sheriff for threatening to kill me, threatening to end my life, or unalive me, shall I say. I've heard nothing from Jason Barnett, nothing. Kyle told me he would recuse himself because he and the sheriff sit on some of the same boards together, so he's going to recuse himself. But yet you have elected officials and law enforcement in the same county, yet he takes his homicide case. So
yeah.
So the people are saying, yes, he should have recused himself. Okay, I got a couple more questions. Now, including you, Cedric, this is to the audience as well as you. Do you all think that this case should be reopened?
Without a doubt, man, this case, yes. All together, yes. This case definitely needs to be reopened.
Okay, Stacy said yes. Question number 13. No, I have not heard from anyone, Danette. Question number 13. What agency do you think should investigate Maurice Taggart's case?
Well, Mark, at this time, I'm going to get the feds. We reached out to Haggard, and it's funny you said your story, and my mother and the NCAACP had reached out to them with a letter. He never responded. But when I called him, he lied and told me he responded. But just to give you some of what we talked about, he was like, oh, I don't like Kyle Hunter, this and that. I said, you don't like Kyle? Would you say that in public? He said, no. He said, I don't like some of the things he did, but if you continue this case or reopen this case, it goes back in his hands. I said, I know it's going back in his hand. And if it goes back in his hands, Cedric, it's going to disappear. Why do he think he can tell me what's going to disappear in someone else's hands? Like you said, I want the state. I'm going to go back and get the state because I'm going to have the state to go back on what they didn't do. And then from there, we're going to come at the state for not going at one of the officials that was sitting back and going back to the cow part about the accused. And it's crazy you say about the accused. He want to recuse on you, but he don't want to recuse on my brother because my brother said he had something on him. That was the biggest thing. He had something. If Maurice would have made that court with the guy, the other guy, Maurice was finna expose a lot of people, and Kyle Hunter was on the list. Go look at it. It's out of, not my mouth, not out of Mark's mouth, out of Maurice Taggart mouth on The Last Say on YouTube. Go check it out.
I've got two other questions before we conclude. Question number 14. How many of you believe the wife committed the crime? You don't have to speak on that, Cedric. I'll just let the audience. How many of you believe Maurice's wife actually committed the crime?
Can I say one thing, Mark?
Yes, sir.
If she didn't do it, she know who done it. I know that for a fact. She was there. And I'm gonna leave it at that and let the rest of the people go.
Okay. Question number 15. This is the last one. And I'll ask this to you, Cedric, as well as our viewers. What do you think should happen to all involved in the death of Maurice Taggart?
Boy, I'm so glad you asked that question, Mark. I'm so glad you asked it. I think that they should be, and I'm not, and like you said, I'm gonna be respectful for your, because of your channel. They should be underneath the jail, underneath the dirt in the jail, under the jail. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Okay, you said under the dirt. That's deep. Okay, I wasn't expecting a response, but thank you for your blunt and honestness and your frank candor. Wow. Is there anything? Whew, that was deep, and I know that came from a place of hurt, a place of pain. I promise you, I get it. Is there anything else that you'd like to add?
Mark, I just want you to know I'm gonna add that whenever you need us, whenever you need protection, whenever you need, we're here for you. The thing I want to add is this. People, I want you to know that I love the other side. I don't want you to think, the devil want me to hate them. I don't hate them, but I won't forget this. I want you guys to know that me, Mark, we working together. I want you to know that, my family is behind us, and Pine Bluff is behind us, and everybody from Pine Bluff that's on here, I want to say I love you. I want you guys to know that we had made one trip to the FBI, so best believe me, I'm dotting everything and crossing everything. So believe me, things is moving around. So, and I'm never, like you said, Mark, and one thing I love about you, brother, you always, you put your life on the line for mine, brother. And that's why I said, I don't think you ever gonna know the love I got for you, brother. Everybody want to keep saying how you talked about Maurice. You talked about a person that was doing wrong. That's just like if it's me, you do wrong, you got to get disciplined. That's how when Maurice did wrong when he was a kid, he got disciplined. You get what I'm saying? So they took that and they want to run. They making their own narrative. But the narrative is going to be is that don't ever think that this is going to go away. Don't never think that face there, that smile you see there. At the end of this, it's going to be all good, Reese Dog. I used to call my brother Reese Dog, Attorney Taggart. Know that anything that you guys tell me or bring me, I will not ever mention. There's people that told me things, and I just want to say thank you. I want to say I love you guys. I want you to know my sister then went crazy because I never, ever, I graduated from the University of Minnesota. Everybody know, played ball, did my thing. So it's so crazy. My sister said some weird things, but just know at the end, my mother is hurting. And I want to say this too, Mark. My mother said some ladies had tried to come to her and disrespect her about my brother. I want to say, please leave my mother alone. My mother is not, she is 71 years old and she don't deserve to be going through this after her son died. And I don't take that kindly, messing with my mother. No threats. Just leave my mother alone. My mother don't need this and she don't deserve that. If you want to help my mother show love, do it. If you want to show me, Mark, love, do it. Everything you guys do is from your heart. You just do it from your heart. But no, I'm going with nothing but facts. Feelings don't go with me. And I love how Mark said, I'm going with I'm not going to use my feelings as much because he's great at facts. But that's how sometimes we got to make sure that everything's be good. But Mark, I want you to know anything you need from me, any type of help, anything you need, brother, don't hesitate. I want you guys to support Mark. For one, I might not be able to be down there for the balloon release, but Mark's going to try to do things, get the colors that we have talked about to be released. So I want you guys to know that that's our blessings that's coming from me. He got the blessings. Please show up and show out. I'm going to do my best to get on the plane to get there. I'm handling some business up here. That's why I left. I was down there 11 months. I'm coming back. I didn't run nowhere. So I just had to handle me some business. And Mark, when I come down there, I'm going to lock up with you, brother.
Okay.
And that's basically all I got to say. And I love you guys. And just continue to stay tuned. Share this. Like he said, I want everybody to share this. And I want everybody to, if you can share this to any type of news, radio stations, whatever. And if you also want to reach out to the FBI and say about this, you can always go on their tip side and tell them. Thank you, Mark.
Before you leave, I want to share something with you.
Yes, sir.
Take a good look at that face. Before I conclude, I'm not Maurice. Not by a long shot. And even though you lost a brother, you gained one in me. I love you, man. And thank you.
I love you too.
And we're going to go.
Thank you.
We're not stopping, okay? We cannot stop, and my heart will not allow me to stop. Justice for Maurice Taggart. Justice for Miss Nina Taggart. Justice for Cedric Taggart. Justice, justice, justice. And thank you all. I thank you all for your support. My Cash App is $ Voice for Justice. Do let your mom know I have received some donations, and I'll get them to her tomorrow, okay? ASAP. You all please share this live, share this information. But prayers going up for Miss Taggart because she's not in the best of health. So she needs prayer. So please send one up for her. Send one up for the Taggart family on this side.
Oh, yes. One last thing. I'm sorry, Mark.
Go ahead.
The reason my mother would have been able to come to the meeting on the 30th, but she has to have eye surgery. So that's the reason, to let everybody know. So I normally don't tell my mother's business, but that's the reason why. Don't say, oh, she didn't want to be with Mark. She didn't know. We don't want to hear them false narratives. You hear me? She just can't make it.
Thank you, Cedric. Well, listen, thank you, brother. I want to say I thank you all. I had to do it from this page because we weren't able to get on from the other page, but I'll be back on the next page again. And I want you all to tune in probably either tomorrow night or Tuesday night for part 8. Okay, so just stay tuned. We're not finished with this. I thank you all for the love and support. Like I say, keep the prayers going up for Miss Taggart because she's ill and she definitely needs prayer and support. She needs to know that we stand behind her. And if you're all able to attend the balloon release August 30th, I think we chose the colors purple and white. And Miss Taggart said purple stands for royalty and white is angelic. So bring a balloon or two. We're going to release them on the steps of the courthouse. I've got a recording of Miss Taggart's voice that I'll play so you all will get to hear from her indirectly. But trust me, she's in full support, and you heard it from Cedric. Thank you all. Thank you for staying up late with me. I didn't know the live would run over to this point, but God bless you all. Thank you again. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Share the live. Enjoy your evening. No more talk.